Good afternoon. Welcome to Leicesterfans TV. We told you we'd go live the minute we hear anything that's happened in the transfer window, and we can confirm it's been reported live on Lcfc's Twitter account that Ben Chilwell is sold to Chelsea. He is a Chelsea player. He has left up. We're not sure how much for. We want to get your views in, your comments in this special transfer window fan zone show. Get them in now and let's get your views going.
Get on your feet. Don't sleep. Play for keeps. Dig deep. Get on your feet. Don't sleep. Play for keeps. Dig deep. Got to dig deep.
Yes, indeed. Well done. If you want to join the show, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, wherever you're watching, I've dropped the link in there. You can come in, give us your video views. Matty SXX watching on YouTube says, I think we better get a left back in. Chris Wright says, yeah, get in big time. Kevin says, what probably most of us think. Kevin's probably spot on with that. Thank goodness, or thank God, that's done. Now let's get Tralifico, can never say it, wrapped up. Good deal for Leicester, says TJ Chapman. Michael Porter says, anybody else worried we aren't signing a replacement? FFS. Listen, Michael, we're doing it the Leicester way. We'll sell a player. We'll get a shed load of money in. We'll go and buy 2, maybe 3 players with the money. That's what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Last time, this is Angela says, not worried. Last time Chelsea came for one of our players, he was a massive failure. It doesn't matter if he leaves us, Angela. It doesn't matter what our players to a rival. It's nice to say Chelsea are a rival, but if you look at last season's elements, Chelsea are a rival. What I want to know is what do you think about the transfers at the moment, and of course what do you think about Ben Chilwell leaving us? I'm just going to type it up, bear with me on screen while I get there. I'm just typing in Chilwell is sold. There we go. I'm putting it on screen now. It is breaking news. So obviously we don't have time to prepare for these. When it happens, we just go live. I did a live from outside the King Power Stadium earlier before the Birmingham game to get your views in. And obviously lots of people wanting to know what was going on. Get your views in now. I want to get as many as I can in there. Michael Porter says we need to spend some money now. James Hill says Chelsea have definitely been robbed. Remember that daily drink water. That's the consistency we're talking about. Rudy, nice to hear from you, Rudy. Hope you're well. Says, shame to see him go. Most important that we replace him. Ake says, bring in Messi. Yeah, there is rumours that Messi was spotted down on Saffron Lane buying chips earlier. Moley says the same. Can't see it, can you? Not in a million years. Sam the Foxhall says, Chilwell will only be a bench warmer. Sam, listen, I don't care what Ben Chilwell will be at Leicester, will be at Chelsea, because he's not a Leicester player anymore now. Let's just make sure you all know that Ben Chilwell is sold. We can't confirm how much money we've got. What do you think we've got? It's an undisclosed fee. What does that mean? Does that mean Chelsea don't want to admit how much they've spent? Does that mean Leicester don't want to admit how much we've let him go for? That's what we want to know. Ben says, time to invest in this team now. Squad is way too thin, incomplete, and such a hectic scheduled season next season. Obviously, Ben's talking about Europa League and the Premier League, FA Cup, everything else. If we don't strengthen this squad, Ben says, we could be in serious trouble. Left back, centre back, quality winger, and striker needed. We have got 18 days left till the season starts. It is going to be interesting. Sonderax is asking, what's the price? We don't know the price. It's undisclosed at the moment. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got a few people saying the sound's gone. Let me know if you can hear me or not hear me. I'm going to add Locks in to the stream. Locks, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, yeah.
Ben Chilwell's gone then, Locks. I know we're all rushing. We're all like, what the hell? Best do a live video. Obviously, we do react live. Locks, Ben Chilwell's gone.
Yeah. I mean, we've known for a while. I would say he was going to go. I think after lockdown, or during lockdown, it kind of, there was some a lot more people reporting it. I think there's been times throughout this period where it's looked like it might not go ahead, like reports of Chelsea going after other players. But yeah, I mean, it's finally gone through, and as a load of people are saying, I think the main thing now is that we use. I don't know if we've been waiting for this money, but we start to invest in the team, because I think we need it, and a lot of the fans are expecting it at the minute.
I think, Locks, we all know we've been waiting for this. It's typical Leicester. We sell a player for a lot of money, and then we spend a lot of money. I'm going to add Tom in. Tom has just finished work, I believe. Let's add him in. Tom.
Hello, mate. You're right.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Just finished work and seen the breaking news.
And Tom, what's your gut reaction to it? It's not a surprise, but
Nothing surprises me in football anymore, Phil. I mean, contracts mean nothing. I mean, we're all getting excited about Maddison signing a new contract. Contracts mean, did he squint anymore? I mean, in 12 months' time, Maddison says, I want to go, then he goes. So, I mean, there's no loyalty in football anymore. And it doesn't surprise me. Chilwell's gone. We got a very good price for me, average defender. He's not great defensively. So, for me, 50 million is a good bargain for me. If I'm honest with you, I'll take that.
I don't think we know, Tom, that we've got 50 million. It says undisclosed fee is what we're reading.
If the club got 80 million for Maguire last year, the club aren't going to be sitting and let players go for no money, are they? I mean, there would have been some serious cash had to be put on that table before Leicester went, yeah, okay, we'll accept it. So they reported between, 45 and 50, and normally they're not wrong when they're reporting these prices. Look, like I said before, Chilwell, we've seen him have good games. We've also seen him have nightmares when quality players run at him. Mahrez at Man City last year absolutely destroyed his confidence, and he probably hasn't been the same player since then. The fans on his back most of this season when he made a mistake doesn't help the situation when a player's low on confidence. And Leicester fans do have to take a little bit of blame for getting on his back some of the times too quickly. Young lad trying to make it out. He's got a big move. The pressure's now back on him to perform, because he won't get a free ride at Chelsea going there for big money.
Locks, he's gone. And to be fair, I'm pleased if we're going to do this deal. It frustrates me that I think we all knew, Locks, that this Chilwell said he wants to go. There's photos of Danny Drinkwater and Ben Chilwell on Instagram going, look at us, tagging themselves and tagging Chelsea. That was 2.5, 3 weeks ago. So this is like one of the worst kept secrets. Obviously, they have to do the deal and get it right for Leicester. But crikey, we're on Wednesday, whatever it is today, the 26th. The Premier League starts on the 12th of September. We've got about 17 days.
Yeah,
and we've bought nobody.
Yeah,
I can see why
think
fans are annoyed, Locks. Come on.
Yeah, well, at least me and Josh have something to talk about tomorrow. So Chilwell going. But just before I answer what you were saying, apparently it is 50 million and potential to be more. So in add-ons, whether that's qualifying for Europe or getting a certain amount of England caps, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think a few weeks ago, half of us were saying we need to sign someone, and half of us were saying we've got time. But I think now it's getting to that stage where we're really desperate for some kind of investment. Well, I think the majority of people are anyway. I've just seen that tweet which you've put up on screen as well. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? £23.95 million turned into £255 million in 4 years. I mean, it's been the Leicester way. It's been the Leicester way recently. Go on. Yeah, go on.
Well, I was going to say there is a reverse to that tweet which Stringer's put out there, which is Slimani for 30 million worth 10p 50 and a bag of humbugs. Musa bought for 9 million worth nothing. Benkovic bought for 16 million worth nothing. So perhaps Tom, I can see you screwing your face up there. I'm being a bit harsh. But generally that is the model, isn't it? We're going to buy young players
Yeah.
And 2 out of 3 are going to work out, or 1 out of 3.
Yeah, I mean, bit of fair on Benkovic. From what I've seen, the player, he's a good little player for me, centre half. He's a young kid. He's been out on loan now a couple of times. He was very unlucky to get a nasty injury at Celtic, what put him out for nearly a season. From what I've heard from Bristol City fans, he's been all right for them, you know. So for me, it's about him getting game time, and he's another one for the future in theory. The other two, you know, you're Osborne. Samani hasn't worked out like we all thought he would. Musa.
Silva,
did he get enough game?
Kramaric, there's so many.
Well, the Kramaric, Rog, I stand by what I said when we let Kramaric go. It was one of the biggest mistakes the football club made. I watched Kramaric play on his debut at Arsenal away. He started up front ahead of Vardy, and he had a blinder. His control, his touch, his vision was there. We all could see there was a player who could play. It's another case of a player never getting game time. People can say, well, he wasn't good enough. He never got game time to prove in the Leicester shirt that he could have played in the Premier League for me. And he's gone on to be a sensation over in Germany. He scored enough goals in international levels to prove that he probably was good enough. Musa, again, played him out wide. We never really got to see him down the middle. But again, from what we did see, his touch wasn't good enough for the Premier League. He wasn't aware of plays.
But
you
Tom,
go to the point, 17 days to go, Phil. It always takes one transfer to start the ball rolling on a load of transfers. And I think this could be the one now, because we've got to make a move in the market. And
we've got to buy somebody, Tom.
I don't think the club would have sold Chilwell unless they had got somewhere with another player in mind to come in him. I honestly don't think the club, the names have been chucked around who we've been looking at, but I don't think the club would be foolish enough to sell their prize assets without having someone ready to come in within a few days. I really don't think the club are that dumb. I've seen it before. We got rid of Maguire. The club had faith, though. They had Sancho, and I think Brendan had probably seen enough to say, well, we don't need a centre-half. We've got Morgan, Benkovic and Sancho, Johnny Evans. I've got enough backup there, so I'm not too worried about doing that. So I just think this time round he has got to be worried, because Fuchs ain't going to play 38 games. Luke Thomas, brilliant 3 games to the end of the season, but a young lad who's going to make mistakes. And problem is, in the Premier League, and you get punished too quickly. You can't make the mistakes. So I think the club will have someone in mind ready to come in.
Yeah, Locks, Luke Thomas, decent looking little prospect there, and I think he signed another one who signed a new contract, but we can't be pinning all our hopes on Luke Thomas, not for what is shaping up, Locks, to be one of our biggest seasons with a decent run, hopefully in the Premier League and Europa League.
Yeah, Tom obviously said it there. You can't. I mean, Fuchs isn't going to play 38 games. I don't even think he's going to be able. He's not going to be able to play a full. Full 90 minutes. So, if I'm honest, and you mentioned it, Phil, Luke Thomas, he's a young lad. He's not ready to be shoved in as Leicester City's starting left back. We've said that all window. Tom said, obviously, he thinks that we wouldn't let Chilwell go until we've got a replacement sorted, and I think that's about right. We've been linked with Jamal Lewis. We've been linked with Tagli. I hate his name. Tagliafico.
Who was that, Locks?
Tagliafico. And I think that's the one which is looking most likely now. But I'm hearing Napoli are in for him as well, so that might be difficult. I'm not sure, but I think Tom's hit the nail on the head there. I don't think we would have let him go unless we've got something lined up, and I think we probably have.
I think Tom, young players, any player, and a lot of Leicester, even though Ben Chilwell's been at Leicester a long time, I can't remember how many years, Tom, you'll know, but it is players. Fans have to realise that these players, then they're not born and bred Leicester fans like us. So when a club like Chelsea in London comes knocking for them, their heads are going to get turned. Tom, I know the fans are split over. I think most fans will say if we are getting 50 million for Chilwell, it's a great deal and business you have to do. I just like, if we really want to go against these teams, we have to try and hold on to some of these players, because if not, Tom, this time next year, mark my words, or maybe in June, we'll be talking about Maddison next summer, won't we? Or Pereira.
Yeah, but that's why I said at the start, contracts mean nothing, Phil, now in football. The days of loyal players have gone. There's no loyalty in football from a player. Even if you bring him through the academy, You've got to be one of the big boys. You've got to be one of the global enterprises, what the likes of Man U, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool all are nowadays. And what do you do to a player if he wants to go? You can't force him to stay. You can't even say, well, you sign a contract, because he gets his way, because players will be sold. Would we really want to keep hold of Chilwell at the beginning of the season if he doesn't want to be here? Because his attitude.
No, yeah.
That's where you got to look at it. The loyalty days have gone. You have to sell your players if they don't want to play for you anymore, as long as you get the money right. And we've done that. We've shown we're stubborn enough to do that, because we did it with Mahrez when Man City came in cheaply, and we went no, even though he spat his dummy out and cleared off, randomly. We still waited, and we got the money we wanted for him. We did it with Maguire. We put our foot down and we said that's the price. We got the price we wanted for him. It was daylight robbery, but we did get 80 million for a centre half you can't turn. And we've done the same with Chilwell. We put our price there, and Chelsea maxed it. Again, if Chilwell came in and basically said, like he said from the start, he wanted to leave, then, like Roger said, he only wants players at the football club who want to be there. And I think that would go from the top as well. I don't see the chairman keeping players who don't want to be at his football club.
I think, Locks, this is a good time, and Reese has put it on there. I'll find the comment for him on here. I'll find it in a second and put it on Reese. Reese has said, we should say thanks to Ben Chilwell, because he has been a good servant at Leicester. He was there. He played, obviously, a reasonable amount of games, I believe, in the Premier League winning season. He's obviously played in Champions League, and he's been at Leicester a long time. So I guess we need to pass on our thanks for Ben Chilwell. He's turned into England's sort of semi-regular left-back, apart from injuries. So he has been a very... I'm not going to say he was a great player for Leicester, which sounds daft when you're selling him for 50 million, but I think we should pass on our thanks to him, Locks.
Yeah, I mean, we can say what we want. Obviously, we can have our opinions on, whether we think he's good enough to play for Chelsea, whether we think he's a £50 million player, whether we think he's played well for Leicester. But yeah, you've got to. I mean, I think it's 6 years or 6 years he's played at Leicester. He's like other players like Maguire, Mahrez, Kante, we would thank them for what they did. So we've got to thank Chilwell for what he's done, and the service he's shown. Someone put it in the comments, if I think, I can't see who put it, but they said, one of us, if you got a pay rise from another company, would you take it? If it was a significant amount, would you possibly, probably so. So, yeah, players get a stick sometimes because of that. But I think we've got to thank him for what he's done. He's had a good few years at Leicester, and now we've just got to move on, haven't we, and see who we can bring in.
Tom, Locks is absolutely right, and we must mention Jamie Vardy, because we talk about there's not much loyalty left in football because of the money. Jamie Vardy is just about to sign a new contract. He is Mr. Loyal. He is Mr. Leicester. Tom, if I was playing for Leicester City on 100 grand a week, because I'm a Leicester fan through and through, I'd have no problem not going anywhere else in the world. But it's ambition, and it makes sense. Chelsea are in the Champions League. Do you think, Tom, had we, and I don't want to harp on about it all season, or in the transfer window, if we'd have made that Champions League spot, could have that kept Ben Chilwell here?
More than likely, yes. I think he probably would have done. I think the turning point was Champions League football, and I think that'll be the turning point for our transfer this season, because the amount of money we would have made different from the UEFA Cup or Europa League.
Europa League.
UEFA Cup, you're going back now. You can see how long.
You are, yeah.
UEFA Cup. It's a massive difference playing against the better players in the world. We probably would have got, if we finished fourth, we probably would have got one of the big boys down the King Power this next year. Barcelona, Madrid, Bayern Munich, because we would have had a really tough pot and seeded really badly finishing fourth. But like you say, I thank Ben Chilwell. He played X amount of games for us. He did a good job when he was called upon. But that's it. He's another one who's decided he wants to leave. So, the day of loyalty's gone. We concentrate on what we've got. Jamie Vardy had the opportunity to leave and turned it down. He didn't want to go. He wanted to be loyal to Leicester, and we thank him for that. Casper's another one who I've heard rumours could have gone ages ago, but didn't want to go. He wanted to stay. So you've got to look at it and say there isn't loyalty in always, but there's one or two who still, appreciate what we've done for their careers. Ben Chilwell, 6 years at the football club, X amount of appearances, but good luck to you, Ben. and we move on as a football club now. We've got to go out and find this replacement quick enough to bed him into pre-season, get him playing how we play, and build up to West Brom in 3 weeks' time.
We've got a few Chelsea fans watching. Obviously, we're streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the usual channels. I wonder if it'd be great to see if what their views are. I have been reading tweets from Chelsea fans for the last week or two, very mixed about whether they wanted to spend that much money on Ben Chilwell. It'd be interesting to know from a Chelsea fan point of view what sort of player they feel they've got.
Yeah, definitely. There's been, like you said, it's been mixed, hasn't it? The comments in for him. I don't know. I think, look, he is going to develop. He's going to become a better player. There's no doubt about that. Even if it's, not that much better, he's still going to be better than what he is now in the future. So, we might look back in a year's time. And look, we were quick to judge Maguire's season at Man United when it was looking down, and obviously it turned around. They qualified for the Champions League by beating us on the last day. So, yeah, I think you've got to be careful at these big clubs, because if you make a few mistakes in a few games, you can find yourself out of the team. And he's got to make a good start to his time at Chelsea, because Chelsea are a club that can, in a year's time, they can bring in another left back who's just as good, if not better. So he needs to have a good start. I think the first half of the season we'll still see mixed thoughts on Chilwell from Chelsea fans. But good luck to him. Like Tom said, I think he's going to develop. I think he'll be in the England side for 10 years, who knows? And yeah, we'll just have to see. But they've got a good player for the future. We know that.
Tom, how quickly do Leicester need to make a transfer and replace Chilwell?
Well, we got 3 weeks to the first game. It's on Saturday.
So 2 weeks and 3 days, 17 days, something like that.
You'd hope that the club, I said earlier, got something in the pipeline that they wouldn't let Chilwell go without it happening. You can rely on Fuchs to start the season now. We all know that, and bring Thomas as your backup player. But in the long term, you'd hope by no more than a maximum 2 weeks before, like even a 2 weeks time, 3 days before the season start, you'd got someone in to start building, working with, and developing into the way we play, basically. Because if he comes from abroad, it's a completely different league to get used to. You then look at Jamal Lewis that talked about from Norwich, and he had a good season for Norwich and a team that went down. A lot of people slag off buying players from relegated teams, but we did it with Maguire. He didn't turn out bad, did he, really? So the club have got to be careful. It's all right going abroad and hoping we can get someone cheaper, but for me, if we can get someone who's got that little bit of Premier League experience, even if it's the one season what he had, it will make life easier settling into the new club.
Locks, do you think if we go and buy abroad players, my feeling is if you buy a player, like Tom says, from a relegated side or somebody who's played in the Premier League, you've perhaps got a 70-30 chance, 70% that he is going to work out right and 30% chance that he's not going to work. Do you think, I think, when you buy from Europe, you have got more like a 50-50 chance. It seems like a bit more of a gamble, whether they'll cope with the different pace of the Premier League.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who we go for. Tagliafico has a lot of European experience, European competition. Obviously, Jamal Lewis has had the 1 year in the Premier League. So, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Even from Leicester in the past, when we've gone, for European footballers like your Slimani's and Adrian Silva's, it has seemed like it's a bit less likely to work out. But we can't really say until we see him play for us, if I'm honest. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yes, Ross has said there tequila. I had to keep calling him tequila last week because I couldn't say his name. But yeah, I think it is going to be one of them two, if I'm honest, and it's looking like more like
You've got it, tequila.
Tagliafico. Yeah, tequila. It's looking like it's going to be him. So we're just going to have to see how he gets on.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, just before we go, it's nearly tea time for us all, and we weren't expecting to go live. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the start of the season, Sonku's on a red card from last season. So is he back? Sonku's back.
He's back.
Johnny Evans is out on a red card.
He's out for one game, Johnny Evans.
Fuchs is injured. Is that correct? still.
Yeah, Fuchs is still injured.
Pereira's still, I don't think it's injured. Ben Chilwell sold. Wes Morgan's 35. Luke Thomas is 12. You know,
it's tricky one, mate.
Is the defence looking a little bit of a shake? Listen, the worst thing you want to have in the Premier League, Tom, any season is an average or poor start.
Oh yeah, we all saw that. We saw that the season. I remember the season that the game we all thought we were going to walk in and beat them. Bolton smashed 5. Well, no, Bolton 5-0, mate. I remember that game.
Well, I was going to say Hull away.
Hull away, the 1-0.
Yeah, Bolton, yeah.
The Bolton one was the one that sticks in my mind because I just felt after that one game, we're in problems. And we went down that season, the last season at Filbert. And I remember sitting in there thinking, something's not right. There was something not right in the dressing room. There was something not right in the stadium. We all could feel after that one game that something was really poor happening. And it, like you say, if you lose 2-3 games at the start of the season, the pressure's going to be back on Rodgers straight away, considering it was only, 4 wins in 18 towards the back end of the season. I don't know exactly. Someone will correct me, I guarantee it. But if you start losing 3 games at the start of the season, questions are going to be raised, with sold players and not replace them. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks now. But I say, normally once you get one big transfer, it starts ticking. Everybody starts it. So let's hope this one transfer kick-starts us now.
Brilliant. Tom, thanks for joining us. Thanks,
cheers, guys.
Locks.
Cheers. Thank you.
Locks, just talk us through. You're going live tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Yes, tomorrow night, 7:30 as always. Me and Josh. We were worrying. Every day that goes on, we're worrying that we'll have nothing to talk about because there's been no transfers. But hopefully, we'll have a sign-in between now and tomorrow night. But if not, I suppose we'll talk about Chilwell. So we'll have to wait and see. But join us 7:30 tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thanks lots for joining us.
Cheers, everyone.
Let's get us final few comments in if you'd like to get them in there. Now, don't forget, while you were watching, we've got 2-3 competitions on LeicesterFanTV.com. I've been down the club shop today. I did a live earlier. We've got one. Look, here it is. One of the brand new blue shirts. We said we've been running this competition for a few weeks. It's the one with the Europa League badges on it. So we have got one of these to give away. Brand new in the bag. Go to LeicesterFanTV.com if you want to win that. If you want to win one of the new white or maroon shirts, we've got one to give away. You choose. Do you want white? Do you want maroon? Which one do you like? Again, you can enter for that on the website. Just go to LeicesterFanTV.com/competitions. You'll see them on there. Enter. We're going to be doing a draw for the blue shirt next Monday in our live video. And the maroon or white shirt, whichever you want to win, will be later in September. So, Chilwell is sold. £50 million in the pot. Please, let's go and spend £50 million in the next few days on some quality players. Stay tuned to Leicester Fan TV. The minute there's any news, we go live. If you hear of anything, let us know. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are following us at Leicester Fan TV on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope. My name's Phil. Thanks for watching. See you soon.